myself. Oh, we're live right now. Hey, what's going on? Can we ever, for once, and I mean once this season, get somewhat of a normal game where maybe our predictions go how we want? Is that too much to ask? Again, as I said last week,
it is.
It's the same thing this week. Guess we got to talk about it. Coming to you in 30. Let's go! Welcome into the PHNX Rising Podcast, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Go on and download that Circle K app, opt into that Inner Circle program, save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, and save even more money after that. The snacks, everything that they have, by the way, a little birdie told me, save 40 cents per gallon tomorrow at the pumps. Do it now. Welcome in. It's going to be awesome. We got to win. We're celebrating a win.
Yeah.
There's, dare I say, I mean, this is a nice feeling, right?
It's a unique feeling.
It is a unique feeling. Make sure to hit the like on your way in here. I am Admin Max Simpson, and I'm joined by happy for many reasons, for many clubs of his winning.
Yeah.
Rees, the stat like a Goodall. Buddy, how we doing?
Been a good week. Been a good couple of days.
Yeah. It has been a good couple days. It depends on who you're asking, I guess. Also, we have Kyle Cooper behind the Mac, pushing the buttons, doing the stuff. Got everyone in the chat. What's going on? Hit that like button. Anthony, Dubcast, Bullseye, finally, 100%. Devinall. I'm not going to pronounce that G, but
What is that? Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you good-looking Phoenix Rising squad. Let's see.
That sounds like GLPRS, but that's okay.
That's understandable. Okay. And then again, Drill Margarita on Goat Watch. I don't hate that.
I don't hate it.
I mean, you already call him Mr. Aura, and boy, did he deliver.
Yeah, it was a very interesting match for him, especially. The first half, Jimmy Madronda for San Antonio did a very good job of defending him and took him out of the game. But then he had one defensive lapse, and then Gerald Margarita scores goal of the week for the third time for Rising this season.
This club is goal of the week FC.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
And it's entertaining to watch. It's entertaining to watch.
100%. That was dropped in our Discord, and I just absolutely had to rip it, and we put it on the burner account that is PHNX__Rising. But right, let's talk about this match, right? Let's first let's look at the tail of the tape. Let's look at by the numbers presented by our friends over at Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes as Mr. Kyle Cooper. He is trying to put, we got it, that end. Boom, there we go. Boom, love it. We got Phoenix Rising 2, San Antonio 1. Again, the XG battle relatively similar here over the course of the match. A little bit different halves, right? 1.38 XG for Phoenix Rising, 1.54 for San Antonio. Possession. Phoenix Rising won a match and didn't win possession. It wasn't even close, really.
Well, I mean, it was kind of part of Rising's game plan just to let San Antonio come out them, which is a little shocking given about who played for Rising. But also, it was a tale of two halves, which I guess is every game, especially for this Rising team. But it was two good halves for Rising's perspective as well. I mean, the XG for both teams was less than 0.2 in the first half. In the second half, the penalty obviously helps, but then just attacking onslaught from both sides. It really, just that first half, how Rising defended in that one, it's just a little surreal looking about, the back line was 4 fullbacks. Colin Smith, Braxton Montgomery, the 2 center backs, and then Harvey Neville and Emi Cuejo, who's not even really a left back. He's more of a midfielder who's just been put back there.
Yeah.
It's just chaos, Max. Chaos. 11.
It's a lot of guys who are out from that line, who are playing, a lot of young guys, a lot of just as makeshift as it gets, right? If you're going to tell me a month into the season that's going to be a starting lineup, I would have told you what drastically went wrong. But I mean, listen, we spelled doom and gloom for this scenario going into this matchup against San Antonio, and I mean, again, it wasn't a dull match to say
No.
that.
I mean, it was a dull first half.
I mean, the first half was
boring. No offense.
Yeah,
but
five shots combined between the two teams, 1 shot on target. Brutal there. Opened up a lot in the second half. I mean, listen, I mean, again, as you're seeing on the screen again, right? San Antonio had double the shots that Rising did. 6 shots on goal for them for Rising. It's trying to figure out where this game come down to, right? You're mentioning the difference between the first half, second half. You already said, right, first half, just low XG, Rising at the high mark at 0.2 XG. There wasn't much in there. Second half, it very much opened up, right? The shots were flowing, 1.48 XG for San Antonio, 1.18 for Phoenix Rising. And it not only did it open up really from the stat test, but I mean, I think just even how these two teams were playing, it just seemed like it was a lot more end-to-end. The middle of the park really seemed to open up a bit more. And I think you just saw Rising had those dynamic players where if there was even an inch or two to the other side, this could be even more of a win for them.
Yeah, in that second half, the midfield for Rising got exposed a little more often than our first half. And it's still one of those things where the midfield being a double pivot with that 4-2-4 or 4-4-2, whatever you want to call it, the 2 times they've played it, their midfield has gone from looking exposed to not that exposed despite losing a number. Which doesn't make any sense mathematically. But yeah, in that second half, I mean, Rising really... They conceded a ton of chances, but again, it was kind of just none were clear-cut chances. I mean, I'm thinking of shots in my head that San Antonio had. There's the one that Braxton Montgomery cleared off the line. There was a few others that they had, but none really tested Tristan Henry in goal. Henry really didn't have too much to do, and I mean, yes, he gave away the penalty, but I do think it was another good performance from him on Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a great way to tee it up. Let's hear it from the man himself, Tristan Henry, on that win.
Yeah, I think it was just we say just playing the game within the game, and I think we did that a lot better this game, just slowing things down and playing at our own pace. And I think we were able to control the game in that aspect, and like I said, eliminating the dumb fouls and the set pieces that we were giving away before, and I think that helped us, and it just helped us carry along throughout the game, and it helped us get a win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that we are seeing there are things, bits and pieces that this club is improving on from match to match. I mean, I again, he doesn't have a flawless performance. I think the penalty that he concedes was, I mean, I'll even say like kind of comical. Like I understand that you're coming out, which I don't even know if I necessarily think that's the wrong decision, but that's tough to kind of clothesline a guy, something out of WWE.
It felt like the most Rising goal to concede in that moment.
Yeah, 100%. You have all the momentum, things are going well, and then
just gone.
Ball over the top, which you did predict.
Yeah.
You know, right? In the midweek show, watch out. Those center backs can play the ball over the top, and especially kind of on that left to middle side where Rising knew they were going to be exposed. Worked absolutely like a charm. It led to the penalty. But I think that, from Tristan Henry, he has a bit of defending to do in that first half, kind of that set piece, couple set piece opportunities where, there's a ball cleared off the line. There's a ball where he almost punches one of the Rising defenders in the head to get it out of the way. Like it was one of those matches where it's not always pretty defending, but they did what they needed to get done, especially from a young team. That's encouraging.
It absolutely is encouraging. I mean, for the depth that they had, which is none. I mean, Darnell King.
There is no depth.
Darnell King was listed on the bench again, but he wasn't dressed. It was very confusing. But so I mean, I would have wanted to know if they had a needed. Yeah, exactly.
They do the Ripper White pants. Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
But it feels like. When you're finding results like this early in the year, Rising have done a good job this year kind of finding results in different ways, different facets, when they can attack or when they have to defend like this. That I feel like that makes a winner, especially late in the year. When it gets tough, you're going to need to be able to win games in different fashions. I know Rising's only won one, but they've shown something here through this, and this really could be that leaping pad to take that next step. It is going to be tough over the next few weeks. It's going to be tough this weekend, but it's a great start, really, on national TV too, nonetheless.
100%. I mean, I think that's the thing that we were kind of talking, about, last week when you're looking at going into this match. Really, everything is kind of going against you. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
right.
No, no, it is.
You have lost. You have either, all of your matches, right? You have conceded a goal within the first half.
Mm-hmm.
The latest in the first half you conceded up to that point was like the 25th minute or so. Everything else was like a 3rd-minute goal, a 6-minute goal. Like you're conceding early. You hadn't had a lead yet in a match. You are down to the bare bones of your squad, still working back guys. You have an kind of an unresolved goalkeeping situation of, okay, this is now Henry's, going into his 2nd match. What is that going to look like? You have a coach who is still, first year coaching within USL Championship. How is he going to be adjusting to everything happening? And then, oh, by the way, you are facing the best team in the entire USL who have not lost a match, and you are on national TV away from home. Every single point of this match, right? This could have been a bloodbath. We predicted that Rising would play close in some capacity, but listen, I don't think you expected this. And like you just straight up say, like that is something where it was a job well done. They were more than rose to the occasion. It's not pretty, but I think that is a sign of a team who, I'm not going to call this team good, but I'm going to say scrappy. You win the scrappy games, however means necessary. That's what they did.
And you need luck as well. And Mitchell Tainer not playing for San Antonio was a huge, and I cannot stress enough how huge of a break that was for Rising. Massive. Because him on that back line, him and Crugnali really work off each other well through those first 4 games. They got to play together. Alexi Suahi wasn't quite what San Antonio needed in that spot alongside Jimmy Medranda. And that's really how Rising scored the Joel Margarita goal. They found where Suahi and Jimmy Medranda's area were. Medranda way out of position. Suahi just could not cover it. And then, as I said earlier, Joel Margarita, another phenomenal goal. That it really was just a well-oiled machine for Rising, and that's just what they needed on Sunday.
Yeah, it was. Man, there's a lot of different ways we can go with this, and we definitely are going to dissect this match a bit further. But let's hear from Rising head coach Pa-Modou Kah on the fight that this team showed in order to get the win.
So we talked a little bit about the adversity that we faced with the injuries, with the plane delayed. I have them making it in by midnight, 12:30, and then you have to have an afternoon game. But the resilience and the grit that the player shows is fantastic, and they have shown it all since we started in preseason. So for us, it was nothing new.
I mean, listen. If you're a coach in this league, that's what you want. Again, this club is continuing to take shape, and again, the jury. Again, we're trying to find the balance with without Owen Evans, Mr. Vacations, Mr. Realism, Mr. Pessimism. But there is a fair degree of that, right? Of like, listen, we try to keep it balanced. I think that this performance showed that there is a lot of hunger, there is a lot to like within this club, even at least of how they're trying to play or something, or the hunger that they're trying to play with. I think that is something that you have seen, especially as it feels like from week to week. This club, you really don't know what the scoreline is going to get. You don't even know what the performance as it relates to scoreline is going to be, but they are going to try. And just try and get your results and improve as a club. Not always, but I think that that's something we can't always say that maybe is what appeared in Rising teams of past. I'm not accusing other Rising teams of not trying, but I think just the intensity at which Rising teams in the past have played with, even last season at times, it wasn't there. And maybe that's due to the type of personnel, a little bit older. It's the type of system. It's the type of, kind of what was in place. But I think everything that we have been hearing through the offseason, what we've been seeing through the first couple weeks is, again, this club has a direction of they're going younger, they are trusting the youth coming through, and they are going to play aggressive and attacking. Is it going to always come off? Absolutely not. But like, this is where, when it does work, you can see it in glimpses like this match.
And the intensity from this club, from this kind of new era, is something we saw really in that very first open friendly. And I've just been seeing it ever since. Just been pushing Pa has to these players. And it's something he's mentioned in the press conference too, is that yes, it has been tough, but where they are on the table, they can still make up ground. There's still time. And obviously 25 games to go, that's a ton of time, but still only 25 games to go, Max. Can you believe it? I know the season's cut down by 4 games.
25 games to go. It goes so
yeah. I mean,
quickly.
we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll be talking about how this team finished finished in the playoffs. That's just how quick the regular season goes. But I mean, another thing from that Pa clip that we played that we didn't even mention, their flight got in on match day at midnight, and they played an afternoon game. That quick turnaround is actually
is kind of pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. I mean, they didn't come out and look sluggish. I mean, the first half kind of, but that was both teams. So it's not like you can attribute it to that. So that just kind of shows the guts of this team continuously.
I love that. I see Anthony's comment. There's a totally different feeling this year. Instead of being in limbo, we do have a vision thanks to Pa. And you know what? I think that's exactly it. You're seeing the guts of this team. We got one more clip from Pa-Modou Kah on this match.
Because sometimes I think that's what it takes, but the mature performance the boys had, the togetherness, the drive and the willingness leading up, because we only look at the game, but you have to look at the leading up to it as well, was fantastic. And that's what you look at as a coach, and then you identify the opposition's weaknesses, and as well as the players who are very involved in it, which was very good.
100%. I mean, this is a club who it's not just the performances, it's not just the result, but I think they really are committed to trying to give you everything. I know that's something that anyone can say, but I think when you back it up with what we've seen from week to week, it's at least encouraging. We have no idea how this season is going to end. This club could the inexperience I think might kick in, but like he even said in that clip, right? It is about this team coming together and a very professional performance. That's not something you typically associate with a team of this age and of a team who, yes, they have experience, but you don't have USL Championship experience. It is different.
Exactly. I mean, that was the biggest talking point in preseason is these guys haven't played in the USL Championship. They might have played together at North Texas, but there's a few new faces in there. If that aren't from that North Texas side, how will they mesh? And I really feel we're seeing them mesh together very well. I mean, we all saw the celebrations after both the goals. I mean, they were both the whole team was going mental. I mean, it's just the limbs you like to see this early in the season get going. I really do think this will be a nice Kickstarter for some momentum for this team, but it starts Saturday again against Detroit, so we'll see.
Yes, it does. Well, we still got a little bit more to talk about this match. We will get to that on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Hey, Reese, you know what I like talking about?
Candy.
You're darn right. Our friends at Circle K, they got the candy. They have the Circle K treats, the Circle K sweets. It is, of course, the home of the PHNX Rising Snack Toss featuring Kyle. But right, the thing I really love about Circle K and their Inner Circle program is, first off, it's free to download. It's free to sign up. All you gotta do, go to the Circle K app, download it on your mobile device, Android or that Apple, that fruit. Right, anything that you have, download Circle K app. Opt in with just a phone number and you get access to all this free stuff, right? Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Save up to all the different snack clubs they have, right? They sell pizza at Circle K. You buy, 5 pizzas, get a free one there. Boom. The same thing with iced tea, with candy, with chips, with all these different great things they have. It's that darn easy to do. And again, I'm going to throw this out there. If you're an Inner Circle member at Circle K, listen here closely. You save up to 40 cents per gallon tomorrow.
For those that can't hear that, 40 cents.
Thank you. Yes, tomorrow. 40 cents per gallon tomorrow. Circle K in Arizona at participating locations. Go get it. Tell them I sent you. Also, check out our friends at Carol Royse Team. You guys in the market for buying a home? You're in the market for buying a home. Check out our friends at Carol Royse Team. They are awesome. They have come into our PHNX studios. They have talked to all about us, about finding your dream home. Carol is committed to putting you in the right home, right? We understand, right? Market, things are happening. This is the time to do it, right? This is the time to do it. 2025, get into a home. Might be in the home buying market myself. Got busy with the wedding and other stuff going on, but hey, I'm gonna try to squeeze in a home there. And if you're trying to squeeze into a home, talk to our friends at Carol Royse Team. Call her today, 480-776-5231, or visit Carol online at carolroysteam.com. Tell them PHNX sent you. Tell them I say hi. There we go. It's going to be a good time. Carol, her team's great. Terms and conditions do apply when working with them. But they are great people. Really do care. Trying to get you into a home of your dreams. We're back here. PHNX Rising podcast. We're talking about this.
Well, we got
this
something
first
to
win
do
of the Pa-Modou Kah era.
We got something to do first. Last time ever.
Oh, we're breaking the news now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the last time ever.
All right, Kyle.
So-
You know what, Kyle? You gotta break your own news.
Yeah, you
but
do.
I guess we're now gonna intro it in. Kyle Cooper, everyone. He's abandoning Peter. Sorry.
Wow.
Kyle Cooper. We're gonna miss him terribly. This is his last PHNX Rising podcast. Kyle, please tell the people.
Yeah, this is going to be an emotional snack toss. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a ride.
It has been.
Got to see some lovely Rising football last year. I'll miss the post-game shows.
Post-game
for
shows,
sure.
legendary.
I love those.
Yeah.
And talking to Owen and Rees on the pitch, and yeah, there were many memories.
And the snack toss with me, right? That's
And the snack toss.
That's like 10th on his list.
It's on the list.
But yeah, a friend of mine from Alaska is a chef, and he is driving a food trailer. No free ads.
Nice.
No free ads, Max.
Nice.
He's driving a... I didn't even say an ad.
Just prepping you.
Okay. There's no ads I'm going to say.
It's at this point.
He's driving a food trailer from Arizona all the way up to Alaska, giving away free food at all of the national parks. And he invited me to come along, and said yes, and yeah, I'm going to be thinking about Rising the whole way.
First off, please don't do that for your own soul.
Yeah,
no, I mean,
Can't believe he's leaving.
I know, I can't believe he's. I mean, honestly, that's just like I remember like Kyle saying this, and I'm like, that's insane, but that's like so cool, like in the best way. That's insane. So that's like it's so perfect for you. We're so happy for you. Probably will not be the same.
little
I don't
Kyle's
know what poor soul is going to be saddled with us. Yeah. Devin already asking the question: who's the snack tosser for next week? He's not caring about your
Well, I
well-being.
mean, we have to put a poll in the
Devin,
chat.
We do have to put a poll.
Are we retiring it?
Yeah, that is the thing. That is the
That's
fair
Kyle's.
and we will have to have Kyle put the poll in the chat. But right, I mean, maybe the snack toss doesn't even continue because only Kyle and I can do it the certain way. We didn't always connect on it, but we did connect.
That's
Through
beautiful.
memories,
Wow.
as
That is
people, as people.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
stop it! Without
Man,
further ado,
It's getting emotional.
Last time ever. Kyle Cooper to Max Simpson.
well, Kyle, what do we got? We got the Wrigley worms. We got the Wrigley sour worms. Here we go.
Biggest toss of his
Oh,
life.
you know what? We're standing up for this.
That's out of the shot, man.
I don't care.
The people cannot see it, but it's a great throw. Great catch. I found out Kyle was leaving
No.
20 minutes before the show. I had no idea. So I got heartbroken.
That was my bad, Reese.
Heartbroken.
Owen,
Didn't tell
Kevin
us.
in the chat. Owen got a promotion. He's gonna be the snack top. No,
Nah,
I know.
he'd
I
kill
don't.
him.
I do not trust Owen Evans to throw me a feather, much less a snack. He will. He
I
will
agree with
actually
that.
try to hurl it at me. And
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
he keeps on saying, "Oh, one of these days during the snack toss, Max will." We don't want to see Max choke live on air. I mean, he will do. He'll do what he can.
Yeah. He'd give
anyway.
you a black eye with just throwing the
He will.
gummy worm.
He will. It's very possible. Let's get back to much more important matters, right? We're talking about this match. It's trying to dissect what this team is. And I feel we've been doing this, right, for the last couple weeks, but I think it was always a bit of an incomplete, right, given so many different factors. You're not going to judge this team off the first match, right, where, first one of the season, we're going to draw our conclusions. Yes, it was maybe... Well, I'm not going to say maybe. It was definitely a dull attacking performance, to say the least, right? But
Just a little bit.
yeah, but right, it's one where, okay, first match, let's see what happens. You see the next ones come into play, and I feel it honestly kind of left us even more so of how is this team going to find a win when you're conceding so early, when it's so topsy-turvy? Yes, but you did start to see there's a bit more of the fight. We now have a look at what this club has done and what it can be and what it needs to do to get a win. Reese, does this help you grade this team any more complete, or are we still kind of in the process of this was an outlier? I'm just trying to think of where we're at here, because me personally, I think that this does show you that this is building upon what this team has done. They finally were able to bring it to the finish, and provided they shore up things a little bit more defensively, the goalkeeping situation is still a massive, massive question mark for me. I think that there is something here when they're on their day, they can compete.
I agree. I don't think this is an outlier by any means. I think this is something that the team has had for a while. They just have the holes in the team have been defensively. I mean, conceding 4, 6, 9 goals in 3 games, 10-4. It's just that's just not signs of good defense. But only conceding 1 against San Antonio, that is a good sign.
That's very good.
it's something where that is what Rising's hole was, as I said, where if this can be something that can just be held up against, some of the better teams in this league, that this team could be something special. I mean, the attack's been there. They've looked creative constantly through this season. They wouldn't be able to score as many goals as they have with the players being, just a revolving door. If they weren't a good attacking team. So I have never been concerned about this team's ability to score goals. It's more defending. And this one really, even with the back line of 4 fullbacks,
dear gosh,
really does kind of alleviate some of that just about this. To Jet's comment there, weakness equals set pieces.
Oh yeah,
it absolutely was.
100%.
That there's no just being around the bush there. It absolutely was a weakness of this team through the first few games. But Tristan Henry mentioned earlier in the video we played was they just locked up on set pieces. They were much more talkative compared to, you look at the goal against Monterey Bay, that first one when I think it was Elijah Paul just made that run right across the box, completely unmarked. Everyone lets him go by, probably because they were all thinking the last defender had him. It's a good sign. I think set pieces defending is the easiest to shore up because it's just simple. It's not from a play where you got a million different variables. There's just a finite there. So I do feel a lot more confident about this team going forward.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I think in terms of the set pieces, how many seasons now have we said this about Rising? It's just it's
I mean,
it's tough.
The last couple years they haven't been able to score off set pieces. I know they scored one this year from Noble Akella, which is a step in the right direction. Defensively, it's been meh. This year's been bad, but it's been meh the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But Max, really what it all comes down to is when you record set pieces, it doesn't go well for Rising. When you don't, it goes well for Rising. So Pa-Modou Kah might have to take away your phone.
Take my phone. That's a very fair, for the benefit of the team. Yeah. I do understand that.
Would you be able to live without your phone for that long?
I mean, is it just for a 90-minute match?
Plus halftime. Yeah, maybe a few minutes before the match, and depending how long post game takes.
I think it'd be okay.
You think so?
I think it'd be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it'd be okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Sec piece is definitely a massive problem with this team. I think you do also, right? I'm curious what that is down to a factor too, right? For definitely some threatening going on, or definitely some uneasiness from this last match. But I mean, right, you could bring that down to some of the defensive lack of stability with some of the guys in and out of the lineup. I mean, maybe that's just due to, some of the younger guys on the team. Like, it's tough because I think once you're labeled a bad set piece team, like, you have to it's one of those where if it keeps on happening as it has been, you can't really undo it unless you just straight up prove it over multiple matches. And we have not seen that so far.
I also don't think the set piece chances that San Antonio had on Sunday were the same as some of the other ones. I mean, the most of the ones to open the year were Rising. They weren't marking players, and when they did, they struggled to clear the ball away. I know there were a couple of instances of them the ball didn't get fully cleared away, but I do think it was just it was just chaos in the box because San Antonio was going after and they were trying to get a goal for the lead. That it was always going to be just chaos in the 18-yard box.
For sure. I mean, I think some of the hallmarks that we can take away as almost like, okay, whether Rising has been at its worst, whether it's been as its, the kind of middle matches where it's been, what do you make of this club? And even from Saturday, right? Or Sunday. Oh my gosh. That took me. So I was like, whoa, it was on a Sunday. What can you make as the through line that's been pretty consistent within through all those matches? I think it's a couple things, right? I think it is you have continued to see that there is definitely some fracturing within the defense in terms of both, certainly the goalkeeping position, which again, we've already spent so much time talking about that, and we can honestly spend a whole pod on it, as Kevin said. Henry, stop flapping across his punch or catch. Yeah, definitely. I think you just need a goalkeeper to stand up tall, make big saves, and have that presence. I think he did a lot better.
I do think so.
Especially over the whole of Sunday's match, and I think in key moments, he It wasn't pretty, but he did what needed to be done. He cleared the danger. Okay. Just need that more consistently over a full 90-minute basis. I think from some of the defense, I mean, the little things like, right, you have a San Antonio team, you know what they're going to do. And yet that was where they got their, the penalty from is if you know how a team's going to attack, keep on being proactive about it. And especially when you have guys coming in and out of the lineup, you just have to kind of anticipate what the opponent's doing, be kind of on the front foot with that. And I mean, it's trying to stop the bleeding early, right? I mean, I think we saw that scoreless first half, that's good for Rising. Haven't seen that in any other matches. Let's see if they can string it in back-to-back weeks.
To go off the first point there of the, or actually it's just the second point there of stopping the bleeding early. I'd like to see this team score a first half goal and then go into the halftime with the lead. But hey, by the end of the season,
they're trending in the right direction. Yeah.
They just need. I mean, last year this team was a first and second half team too. The first half was a snooze fest. The second half was much more like awake. I hope that doesn't become a trend again this year.
Yeah.
I know the early conceding of goals has started, but it's hopefully been alleviated, hopefully been erased. But we'll see.
No, it's fair. I think the thing that we've seen as well, right? Everything we just talked about, right? What are some of the through lines, right? Goalkeeping, defense, kind of pointed that out there. Midfield. I think that's the one thing is the midfield, in my opinion, has been very consistently inconsistent. I really don't know what it's going to look like. And I think sometimes the midfield they're going in transition. And even you saw that in what's it called? The Gerald Margarita goal where, it transitions very quickly from, defense to attack. And it's a beautiful kind of 3 or 4 pass sequence, and the ball's in the back of the net. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's free flowing, everything like that. The downside of that is there have been times in the midfield where this team is nowhere to be found. I thought Spurs were open in the midfield and there was no one there, but this is tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think a large part of that is because the midfield especially has at times not been the same players from match to match. It's been hit hard.
For sure.
I mean, Jamison Ping, Hopa Vievu, Noble Kello started a game in midfield together. Carl Saint being out with the red card, international duty doesn't really help. Jet brings up Skierce needs to start over Carl. I would be interested to see how that would look just because Skierce didn't play in that deep defensive midfielder role that Carl did on Sunday, or that Carl would play on when JP played on Sunday. It was much more of just him and Noble in that double pivot. And that's another question though, is if Skierce is in the midfield, is it just a double pivot of him and Okello or whoever, or is it going to be back to that 4-3-3? That's question kind of needs to be asked because this team has kind of switched it was just for one match, but I mean, is that kind of going to be this team's main look going forward? We'll have to see. I just saw a picture of Owen on the screen and it cracked me up. Lost my thought.
Poor Mr. Vacations. As I think Devin will put in the chat, Kyle will actually be the permanent Mr. Vacations on there. So, yes. Let's see. And actually, I see, they're getting distracted all over the place, but it is very much worth mentioning. Zanell in the chat, first off, hello. Second of all, yes, let's put up that graphic. Look at that beautiful viewership now. Breaking San Antonio FC and Phoenix Rising on Brand Redacted Network drew 444,000 viewers with a peak of 760,000, making it the most watched match in league history on that Brand Redacted. It was something where I think, honestly, I got to give credit where credit's due. You kind of saw the presentation. You kind of saw the camera angles. It just, for a random middle of the day Sunday match, it looked beautiful.
Well, they kept typing it up as, this battle between two champions.
I know. How they hype it up is one thing, but I think the actual production...
No, the production was phenomenal. The production was very good. I have 3 gripes, and it's the 2 commercial breaks they did during the game. They put the little game in the bottom
I do not like the box.
I absolutely hate that.
If you're going to... You're trying to say, but you can still see the match.
No,
just cut.
That's dumb.
If
that's
you're
just
cut,
awful.
just cut.
And don't even do that. Don't cut. Don't.
This is the beautiful game. For 45 minutes, that is ours, plus stoppage time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the mid-game player interview with Mitchell Tainer.
That was something.
It was. Did you see his boots? They pointed that out multiple times throughout the broadcast about that's how his boots were gifted to him by someone in the San Antonio front office. I don't care. I just flat out don't care.
That's fair.
No offense to Mitchell Tainer. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. I don't want to hear him during the match unless
they're trying to appeal to people. Maybe that's what the numbers were spiking. Maybe it's due to the boots.
I think it's more so because the program after the game was local news around the country, and I guarantee you the peak was at the end of the match. Not to sound like Owen Evans and all negative, but is he? Yeah,
that actually was a pretty good Owen impression.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I try my hardest.
I'm Owen. I love Wrexham.
Yeah. And England.
Yeah, so that was good. Yeah, thank you, Zanel, for pointing that out. You beat us to it, but yeah. So going back to kind of some of the through lines, right? Midfield, kind of all over the place. I think it's also due to this team's style, right? They're looking to play very up and down. Yes, build up the right way, but I think they're just going to be exposed. The thing that has been very consistent, and this is my most promising part of this squad, is this attack. There really is something to it. It is beautiful to see. They have some absolute playmakers, especially across that front three. And listen, we're going to talk about Remy Cabral, right? Who is just, we already know we were getting from him in a lot of ways. He had something to prove. He came in hungry. He was crushing up in preseason. He's been off to a great start. Joe Margarita, Mr. Aura himself, has an absolute phenomenal of a goal. That goal angle that they show from the alternative angle is nuts. Absolutely insane. But here's the thing, is Damon Rivera, my word, he's good. He's good.
Why are you backing up like that?
I don't know.
It's scaring me.
I don't know.
No, he is very good.
No, he contributed. He contributed to the penalty that ended.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to point out.
Beat his man to the touchline, cuts it back. Like the vision to see that with the cutback, playing Remy Cabral leads to the penalty, and even he has that transitional moment where he's the one leading the charge into plays it, I think, into Sacco, who then plays it into Jurl for the second goal. I mean, he has speed. He's able to burn guys, and he has such, not just a great first touch, but his second and third touch are so deliberate. You love him taking guys on, and I think he's the yin to Jurl Margarita's yang, right? Jurl Margarita, he's maybe going to take...
Which one's the yin? You said both are the yang.
No, I said
you said Damon Rivera's the yang.
Damon Rivera's the yin. I said Damon Rivera's the yin. Damon Rivera.
Kyle VAR review.
Yeah, okay. Don't retire the toss. Please still make.
No, I do agree though with what you're saying.
No, it's. I mean, I think he's very much like he's a bit more deliberate. It's a bit more. You know what I'm going to do within the first or second touch, but it's going to be right at you. Juro, he's going to kind of lull you in, play a little bit slower, but still try to get by. I think the two wingers that this club has, very dynamic, and Remy Cabral being able to latch onto these. Remy Cabral's looking great. Like he had the penalty cool as you like. Played great in the last match with that nice 1-2. He had a banger off the post. I mean,
that one too.
I think this front line, yes, and they have other guys that they can bring in there as well. But these front three, they're humming, and it is exciting to see.
It is clicking at the moment. Sacco mentioned too. I mean, he has really clicked out on a level that I don't think I expected to. It really is going. You mentioned Damien Rivera there. He really, the one thing I thought he kind of lacked in that Tulsa game was that final oomph, that final ball, the shot, pass, whatever you want from him. He lacked it. I think he's really found it in these last couple games. Jurl, obviously. Remy, I'm still kind of waiting for that open play goal again. I know he's had a couple, but I do think he just needs more. I think he's delivering fine, but once it for his team to really just power through, I think if he can get some more, if this team does power through, he will get some more.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's been a couple through runs we can note throughout the season, like we mentioned. It's the instability in defense, it's the inconsistency of the midfield, and this is exciting front line that we have. So remains to be seen, man. I mean, anything else that you can take either from this match or really the first couple matches of the season?
Well, we highlighted it earlier, but again, just the youth that this team continues to play. I know they don't really have a choice at the moment, but Braxton Montgomery continuing to start matches.
Honestly,
I know he's committed to a college. Exactly. I mean, he is playing as the left-sided center back.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought
for this team. Nuts. That just continues to be a good sign for teams at academy that a few years ago would not have been able to do so. And Braxton's been in the academy since I think 2020, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
So he's been in it for a while. That's just the sights you love to see.
You do. And Anthony, I'm telling you, man, Sacco de Margarita will feed families this season. Absolutely. We turn our sights right to the next opponent for Phoenix Rising, Detroit City FC, right? In a way, right? This is back-to-back opponents who are playing well. Detroit currently third in the table in the East, right? Loudoun United is in first, which
Are they really?
it's kind of wild.
Yeah,
and of course, Louisville City, the juggernauts that they ever are.
Louisville's up there.
And Detroit, right up there in the top four. It's going to be a tough challenge for Phoenix Rising. Let's hear what head coach Pa-Modou Kah has to say on the upcoming matchup.
Listen, it's a well-organized team, but for us, it's a two different team. We're gonna still continue to focus on what we can improve daily with our players, and they're gonna present a different matchup, which we're looking forward to as well.
Yeah, it's this club has to keep on doing their thing. Detroit always present a tough challenge. I mean, Rees, is there anyone in particular from this Detroit side that either scares you or one that could be an opportunity for us to take advantage of?
I don't know if there's one that Rising can really take advantage of. They play with a back three or back five. I mean, the way their wing backs play, it can be much more defensive at times. I don't think it is as much as offensive as we've seen it in years past. Devin Amu-Mensah, though, on that back line, he's very, very good at bringing the ball forward. So Rising will have to watch out for him. That kind of front 2-3, whatever you want to call it, they have. Ben Morris is been solid at times in this league. They don't really have anything too spectacular. I mean, Sebastian Guenzati has been around this league for a while. He's on the bench, but he's kind of older. He's kind of not past it, but he's not what he was with Tampa Bay all those years ago. It is a well-oiled machine though for Detroit, but it's been a bit of a bumpy road these 5 games. I mean, yes, they're third, but their 2 wins are Miami and Colorado Springs. Since then, they've drawn with Birmingham Legion, who just fired their head coach. Yep. They lost to Detroit, or not lost to Detroit. They lost to Louisville, rather, which is to be expected, but I don't think they looked particularly good in that game. Kevin Lambert actually got a red card in that match.
Oh, there you go.
And then they are just coming off a 0-0 draw with Monterey Bay. I still don't think Monterey Bay is all that. I know Rising got beat by them.
We've seen how this tale repeats itself. I don't know. I mean, I think this is something where we keep on saying this club has improved from week to week, but yet there still are some of the same inconsistencies that show itself out. Number one, if you're able to get a positive result on the score line in back-to-back weeks, it's amazing. That's a great progress that we're out here saying, hey, congratulations, you got your first one. Let's see if you can repeat it again. Go back on the road against a tough squad. But I think right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. But it's also then how do you? I don't know. Like, how are you able to keep improving on where this squad keeps on going? Right. I mean, we know that they where their strengths are within the front line. Are you able to do anything to minimize those weaknesses in the back? I mean, that's going to be the thing that I think until we see some sort of balance, whether the front line comes a little bit down to earth and they stop scoring consistently, or you have the defense try to rise to meet the challenge, I think that's what we're going to keep seeing, this push-pull, this kind of teeter-totter of this Rising club. Boy, they are something else.
Yeah, and I think that this Detroit defense is really going to be a test for Rising, because we have seen this team go up against teams that play that back 3, back 5, however you want to describe it, and really have not looked that good. I mean, that was Tulsa, that was El Paso. Those were 2 of Rising's really, I think, worst matches. I'm not going to count Monterey Bay just because I think that was so chaotic in terms of who's playing and then obviously how the match went and who finished the match playing. Those 2 games, Rising really struggled in transition. And I don't know if you could point that down to, that's the first 2 games of the season, or if that's how those 2 teams' style of play is. I think that's going to be something Rising have to watch out for, but also how Rising can break down this Detroit defense, that's something that is going to be. It's not going to be easy. It's something, but it's also something that we said about this Detroit teams in years past. And Rising's gone out and beaten them 5-0. So, and that happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah, freaking
Trejo's goal, I think.
Freaking classic. Yeah, this
Trejo brace, Panos goal, Arteaga goal,
God.
Formella goal.
Oh my gosh.
And then last year's match against Detroit, you know who started up top for Rising?
Flood watch.
What?
It was a flood watch. It was a flood watch.
It was flood watch. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
you're good. Yeah, it's gosh.
It was like, who's flood watch?
Who's flood watch?
Oh no, flood.
Flood watch.
Bro.
Fine, flood watch. Watch him up top. Yeah, that was such a weird. Was that like a 2-1 loss with
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw with the wonder goal from Julio. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. In the middle of the Open Cup week too.
Gosh.
Which Open Cup draw happened? We didn't even talk about that.
Don't worry.
I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
For the end. We got that ratcheted up. Yeah, I mean, anything else you want to, we're going to get into predictions. Anything else you want to preview or take from this match? I mean, I think, do we see, I put it out there before the season started that you're not going to get this club playing back-to-back same starting 11s until the second half of the season. Does that end? Do they change anything?
No, that's absolutely.
I know because guys are coming back. That's right. Guys are coming back into the lineup.
I don't know if Carl would be coming back, but I cannot imagine. I mean, then that brings up an interesting point: is
how many How many changes?
How many changes? But I mean, Pop. Who's he? Okay, never mind. I'm completely messing up who was playing on Sunday. I totally forgot Colin Smith started at the right center back spot. So yeah, Pop my boy will be, because I was thinking Braxton Montgomery, he's been such good form.
Such good, yeah.
Is he
Pop my boy to the bench? Whoa.
Yeah, but no, Colin Smith started at right center back.
Yeah,
so,
no 100%.
Offense.
Outside of that though, I mean, do you see anything else?
No, well the main thing for me is, what's the shape? Because if it's back to a 4-3-3, there will be numerous changes.
For sure.
If it's sticking with the 4-2-4, I can only imagine really one, maybe two.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. We will see. Can I get a score prediction from you?
Score prediction.
We've been so wrong on this recently.
Yeah, I predicted 3-1 San Antonio last week. It really hasn't been a good showing. I don't think Detroit can score very well, but I also don't think they defend very well. I'm going to go a 2-0 victory for Phoenix Rising at home.
2-0 victory for Phoenix Rising at home. By the way, I do want to give myself credit. I did predict 2-1 last week. Thank you.
To Rising?
No.
Okay, well that's fairly important.
All right,
Doesn't count.
So you have 2-0.
Yeah.
Phoenix Rising winning. Who do you got scoring?
Give me a Remy goal.
Okay.
Give me. Sorry, let me think about this.
It's okay.
Emi Cuejo banger.
Wow.
Totally out of left field.
One of those
But
ages.
I'm just trying to think of, trying to be different.
I love it.
Don't want to see Jurel every game.
2-0 at home. I'll take Oh, I actually kind of like that. I don't think this club takes a clean sheet. I like Kevin's. Give me 2-1 Rising.
2-1. Who's your goal scorers?
I'll go Damian Rivera and
Good shout. That was my other guy. I was going to go instead of Cuejo.
And let's go with Pop.
Pop.
Turning
okay.
Pop gets
Header?
Gets people. Oh yeah, gets people going.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Kyle Cooper, the last one ever.
Well, I'm gonna pick a Rising win.
What a guy!
1-0
Wow.
at home.
Wow.
Jurel.
Let's go.
Who would have ever guessed that all
Who
three
would've-
of us would be picking Rising wins this early in the season?
Look how
That's
easily we're swayed though. We're swayed. One
absolutely.
victory and we're on it.
Yeah.
Owen's gonna come back and just douse the
They could win 8-0 on Saturday and
Oh,
he
yeah.
would be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Let's see. We got Kevin in the chat, 2-1 Rising. Devino Rising win. Yes, Kevin's right. Ooh, we need championship year Cuejo goals. Ramon, pop our boy header off a corner. Ramon, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, man. I don't hate that whatsoever. That chat is optimistic. We're optimistic. What are we doing? This isn't the PHX Rising podcast.
Yeah,
You've come
there's
to
a
know
little
and
too much
tolerate.
optimism.
No, semi-tolerate. Yeah.
I can almost see this being a loss now just because we're so optimistic.
I know.
And
What
then
a
we'll
chat.
be very negative for the Sacramento game,
And then
Rising will blow them away. It's just
we know how this is now.
Yeah.
Well, one thing to bring us back down to earth a bit is it is Open Cup week around the corner, right? Wednesday, April 16th, squaring off against
Oh my
Tulsa.
gosh, that's next
I
Wednesday.
know, isn't that crazy? It's literally a
Oh
week
my
from
gosh,
today.
yeah, I didn't realize that.
Oh my gosh, during the pod, it's going to be Open Cup because it's 5 p.m. kickoff locally.
Is our pod next Wednesday?
Darn right it is.
Well, so what are we doing next?
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll do
I
a
like
little.
this talking through of it we're doing right now.
Yeah, I guess we are. Oh, we'll figure it out. But
Owen will figure it out.
I don't know.
We'll put it on.
I
Owen,
don't care. We'll
figure
bring
it
them live from us. But no, it's going to be interesting. I mean, right? Tulsa beat Rising in the opener 1-0. I mean, first off, how much do you take away from that? And second, what do you think of the draw?
All right, it's complicated because I don't
Ain't it
think
always?
Rising. Yeah, it is. Life is complicated.
Sorry, they're talking about Cardiff getting
Yeah,
relegated.
I know.
I love it.
It's. I think that match against Tulsa Rising weren't at its best by any means. They picked it up the last 25, 30 minutes of the game, but that first half was just awful. I mean, the amount of times they passed that ball back to Rakowski was disgusting. And then, so I don't really think anything will really carry over because
Juro was there's like a lot. It's
there's
really
a lot
different.
Of
a month
rotation,
difference. A lot has happened.
Yeah. And then what I think of the draw, I think it is the most boring possible match.
Can I raise you, New Mexico?
I mean, at least New Mexico. No, sorry, I take that back. No, sorry. At least New Mexico. Owen gets to go on vacation in New Mexico, his favorite destination.
It's what he does. Wrecks him
Absolutely.
up, Cardiff down. Wrecks him up, Cardiff down. I love it.
Yeah, but I also did you watch the draw, Max?
I saw the highlights.
It was legitimately the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. I think the way they do these draws is always dumb, but at least like when they did the envelopes, they'd shuffle up the envelopes.
Sure.
They'd actually have draws. Yes, teams would be predetermined home and away, but not even half, probably like 70% of the matchups were predetermined, and that's just I don't care. I don't want to see it show up on a screen. I want to see Joe Malfa shuffle up the envelopes.
I don't care if this is a hot take or not. Like, to me, I get the concept of like a draw show, or if you will. Save it for the last 16. Save it for the last 16 or something where there's a whoa. Okay.
Disagree.
Okay, what you got?
Because I think there needs to be an actual draw first off, right? And I think I would alleviate a lot of the problems.
That's understandable.
Because second off, like if Rising drew, or let's say AV Alta, all right, that's the closest USL League One team I could think of. They're drawing a match against. I have no idea who they're actually playing. I think they're playing Orange County. But I mean, that's a big match, close rivalry, your first game, or second game really in Open Cup. They did draw Orange County. That's cool. That's cool to see. And I think you see a tweet on that instead, like a press release instead of a show. That's boring. It's boring, Max.
That's understandable. Well, it's going to be interesting how, I mean, goodness, man, we're going to have to figure out how they approach it because they're sandwiched right in between Detroit City and a Sac Republic match. That's a behemoth. That's an interesting one how you play this one. I mean, does Rising go for it? Does Rising actually put something forth for the Open Cup?
I don't think they should. As much as I want a Rising Open Cup run.
Oh, wow. I don't know if the chat's going to like that.
I think Rising winning against Tulsa could cause them more harm than good, because if they win this game, all right, they'd have to play Sacramento on the weekend, obviously. Their next league game, because the weekend after Sacramento is a Jägermeister Cup against San Antonio. Struggled getting that one out.
Yeah.
So after that Jägermeister Cup matchup against San Antonio, the week that next Open Cup round match would be scheduled between is on the Wednesday or Tuesday between Colorado Springs away and New Mexico away. It's going to be sandwiched between those two. If you drop points in one of, or really both of, Detroit and Sacramento, you could find yourself in a bad spot then. I don't think Rising should just forfeit, but I do think that if Rising win, they need to make some 25-day signings, some loan signings just to alleviate.
Nah, man. Screw the practicality. I want him to go for it. I mean, listen, we've seen this club. Just get it. Like, listen. I want top four. I want beautiful ball, and like I think they're playing. They're playing some easy on the eyeball. But like, I mean, listen, go for it as many competitions as you can. I mean, once you get wiped out and all you have left is just league play, it's I don't know. It kind of loses a little.
You think
something.
this team can win the quadruple?
You putting it out there in the universe?
I'm asking you a question.
If this
team wins the quadruple, what are you doing, Max?
What are you doing,
I
Max?
wanted you something crazy.
The odds of this team winning a quadruple are near zero because that'd be U.S. Open Cup, Jägermeister Cup. Then they'd have to win the Players' Shield and then win the playoffs.
I'll volunteer to sing the national anthem on Phoenix Rising.
And then would you get a tattoo of a picture of you singing the
No,
national
it
anthem?
can't always be a tattoo.
Oh gosh! I cannot wait for November. We just come across this clip again. Rising has 4
People
trophies.
forget.
This is eerily silly.
I made the tattoo bet in May. This is a month beforehand, so we're fine. Yeah, man, it's gonna be what a busy week. Okay,
Home opener 2026.
oh gosh. So let's see. Overall optimism for Saturday. Open Cup, mixed bag of cats. Especially, we're gonna see how Saturday goes. Will kind of give us maybe some more or less optimism. And oh gosh, Owen's back. Hey, you know what? Let's play the clips. What else we got? Let's throw some more dirt
Play
up
the
on
classics.
Owen. Yeah, play the hits. Give us some. Give us some new stuff, Mr. Kyle. Whoa, Mr. Owen Evans. Who is that guy? Let's play some stuff we haven't seen in a little bit. Yeah, we know he looks sharp and all that stuff. Let's see.
That one's just so good.
That is the classic.
That's the one that got showed earlier on our end and that I laughed at.
Oh yes. Yeah. Wait, no, that's
Kyle wants one last look before he leaves.
Kyle, that's the wrong
one
clip.
last look at the shrimp pizza before he leaves.
Oh, you mean this?
No, I did not. Listen, I did not eat the pizza. I was using it to show you that other people do. So if I did, which I didn't, it wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be crazy. Let's get back to being professional. Kyle, what the? Is that Mudang? What? Why?
Mudang.
Why Mudang? We've been on this before.
I thought that era ended. Oh no.
What is?
I don't like
what?
Oh gosh,
that's
my creation.
That's
what he's going out for.
Is Owen Mudang Evans? Oh my god, I love it.
Cardiff going down.
Wrecks him up.
That's so sad.
It's actually really funny because we were to this is of course the nonsense portion of the show, but to close out, it was interesting how Damon was legitimately talking to us after last week's pod end. It was crazy how we were giving Owen such a hard time because Wrexham actually is going to go up and they could play Cardiff, when in reality Wrexham's going to be above Cardiff.
Yeah,
you're looking. Oh my gosh, they're looking down on Cardiff. That's so.
Wrexham, best in Wales. We love Wrexham.
Anthony, in Albania, I eat tuna pizza every time I go. LMAO, it's good. Anthony, you're a real one. We appreciate it. And Anthony would try shrimp pizza. I do appreciate honesty. I did not try the shrimp pizza, but other people do, and that's great.
Never had it.
Never had shrimp pizza. No.
Wow.
No. Am I not a man of my word? Have I never not been a man of my word? I've got a tattoo. I've bought beers on this.
How long did it take you to get that tattoo?
But did I not get? But did I not get? There was a whole trial. Okay, I had no choice.
It was awful.
I had no choice. The judge was tainted. It was bad.
Judge was the most honest man I've ever met.
Oh, he was very dishonorable.
Very honest.
Crooked as they come. Yeah, crooked as a zigzag. Man, it's tough. Well, I think that'll just about do it. Unless you got anything else, Kyle, we'll miss you. Can we give you the floor? Anything else you'd like to say to the people? One last time.
I'm glad that Rees and I got to celebrate a beautiful Arsenal win yesterday.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's wrap it up.
One of the best Arsenal games I have seen.
Okay.
Probably the best game I've ever seen.
I will say, and I hate to say it, That was really well done. Like but here's the great thing, by the way. That is a great point. I told Rees, hey, sincerely, it makes me sick to my stomach, but congratulations on a win. And the first thing this man says, not like I'm excited or I want to thrash you. The very first thing is, oh, I feel horrible because it's going to be all Madrid.
Yeah,
all Madrid in the second leg. I've seen Barcelona, Liverpool. I know how this works.
I will not be able to sleep the night before the second leg. That's just the way it is.
That's disgusting. That's so sick.
Awful.
This man has a 3-0 lead on aggregate, and the nerves. But you know what? That's fair. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rising.
I will say, I'll miss you, Owen.
Oh, I did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss you, Owen.
I'll miss Owen.
Wow.
If you're listening.
Yeah. And,
And I'm going to try to make it out to a Rising match.
Are you going to miss me, Kyle?
Yeah.
This month.
Are you going to miss me, Kyle?
Yeah.
Are you going to miss Max?
Yeah. How about me?
Reese and Owen.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
okay. I was just clarifying.
This guy.
Me and Owen.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
No, Max. Come on.
Oh,
yeah.
Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX
The 2 post-game shows we shared
dude,
because you missed so many.
Anyway, we're wrapping up here on the PHNX Rising podcast. Make sure to leave a like on your way out here. Of course, you can follow us at PHNX__rising in honor of Kyle. Double the underscore, double the
Wrexham.
Double the Wrexham.
Wrexham.
That is a great way to leave it. We love that. Follow me on Twitter, Max David Simpson. You can follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. You can follow Kyle on Cooper at KCoop Sports. KCoop Sports. Of course, you can follow Mr. Vacations on Twitter at OJ Evans18.
See what destinations he recommends.
And also his burner account at Cardiff Sucks. I love Wrexham. It's a beautiful game. We will be back 6 p.m. Wednesday. And honestly, at that point, this might just turn into a live little watch along with the Open Cup. Dual screen action. Make it happen.
God.
Putting it out there in the universe. It's a beautiful game. But it's way more beautiful. We cherish our memories with Kyle. Good night, everyone.
We all silly like the mayor.